Good evening, it's Kuro. Got a ranked game in my Druid, going over the matchmaking. Enemy team has Conqueror, Kurfürst, Venezia, Nevsky, excuse me, Gearing, Kleber, and Haragumo rounding out the enemy team. Definitely the threats to be mindful of would be the Nevsky and the Venezia. So this is one of my first games in the Druid. I've been kind of getting back into the swing of things playing this ship, and you know this I think this game is a pretty good representation of how this ship is going to play in a lot of cases. And that basically is, you know, you've only got one ammunition type, so you've got your AP. Also notice gun angles here, not that great to the back. That's actually a weakness of this ship. If you can get a Druid kiting, and you can steer basically into forcing him to constantly turn to try to shoot you, you can make him a lot easier to hit and just dumpster him basically, especially because this isn't a fast DD. Don't have speed boost. Looking at 37, maybe 38 knots top speed, and there's a lot of DDs that go faster than that. But anyway, what I'm really looking to do with this ship right here is kill DDs. Looking to just bully destroyers, and there's some particular tactics that you can do with this ship that can be pretty nasty. So pushing up here, got a Kleber. The reason why I'm picking this fight is, one, I've got my smoke available. The Petra will spot the Kleber, but in particular, I'm predicting that the Kleber is going to push into this island. That removes half of his DPM from the equation. That's going to give me an advantage, even though I am going to bounce some shells here because it is AP, and even with the improved bounce angles, you're still going to bounce some shots here. And you can see that I bounced all four there, but I keep scooching out. I'm starting to get a better angle. You can see he's trying to pick a fight with me right now, but now I'm predicting he's just coming back here, and this is just nasty here. You just point your bow at him and just make yourself as small as target as possible and just keep shooting them. I was anticipating there might be torps on the way. Turns out my hunch is correct. Now there's gonna come a time here and this is what I don't like. You've got you've got this Haragumo here that just smoked up. This Kleber, he's tucked in here. We can't. He's safe right now. He just has to play peekaboo with the Petro. With this Venezia here and the Haragumo, I can't really just YOLO right up here and go after the Kleber. So this is actually going to leave our gearing really vulnerable. Our gearing is much better off. I would say not even in the cap. I just let them have it. Or if you're absolutely determined to contest a cap, just catch somewhere up here on the edge and just be ready to run away. Because proxies, getting in a proxy situation with this Kleber, with their Venezia and Haragumo, they're going to be able to get shots in on this gearing much easier than we are, at least until things start adjusting on the board. And that's going to look like this Venezia, in my opinion, is making some misplays. So here, I know this Haragumo is shooting at my gearing. I'm doing everything I can just to suppress the the Haragumo, and I must be landing near him because he actually bails out of smoke, and that's why I get detected. So just angling to the main threat, the Venezia. But you can see the Venezia has kind of changed direction, and he's starting to kite out. I see this. This is my opportunity, and what I'm thinking is this Venezia, if he pushes up, he'll get in a crossfire between our Petro and Thunderer. So this is the correct decision that he's making. The problem is the Kleber, he's isolated. The Haragumo's pulling out, the Venezia is pulling out hard, and I'm taking this opportunity to push right up. You can see the Kleber, he's trying, for some reason, throwing torpedoes at our Petro. Don't do this, because the ship that's proxy spotting you, he's going to spot your torps, and those torps are sure to miss. So, again, you can see me taking advantage of the DPM, just full bow on, minimal profile, just smoking up, make myself hard to hit, and then just trying to dumpster shots in the best I can. And again, also with this Royal Navy smoke, being able to smoke up like that, and even if I get, you know, a few blind shots in, that really helps in the DPM fight that decides, you know, who won that trade. Druid does have a decent repair party. You've got a decent chunk of HP as well, so this ship can be pretty tanky, especially if you exploit, you know, the angling with the ship, where most ship, their dispersion is kind of like a football, and if you're angling right into that, most of their shots are going to go to the sides of you. Because of that, you can do stuff that you normally would not do with a destroyer. Trying to get this Petro to slow down, but he's gonna make a nice torpedo. Well, he's basically gonna be a nice bumper car to steer me out of these torpedoes. But I'm just going to cut back over, and this starts to be one of the things that that Druid is going to need to exploit in order to have impact on the game. You don't have torpedoes to cut off the advance of the enemy, but you do have your AP, and so I'm looking. I know the enemy team's wanting to push up to our cap, and our cap is woefully ill-defended right now. So I'm trying to get back there to do what I need to do. I see the Kerfers turning up, and it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you just get broadside and just sail right up there. I'm gonna go on ahead and start trying to punish this. And I mean, I could burn a smoke here, but I really don't want to, because this destroyer is so slow that I want to keep pushing across the map as fast as possible and get into a better position to be able to influence things on this side of the map. So here, gonna just smoke up here. I'm close enough that I could get blapped if I'm not careful. He does get a shot off with his back guns, gets me for a little bit of damage, but I'm just gonna be dumping this AP into a Kurfürst. Now, Kurfürst, honestly, he's a bit of a hard battleship for AP to do consistent damage with. There's a lot more squishy battleships out here in this game. Again, I was trying to get a shot off on the Conqueror. You can again see the limitations of the turret angles to the rear of the ship. So something to think of. Now, one other benefit that the Druid does have, you're going to see it up here. You've got the Royal Navy Destroyer acceleration. So you've got the cooked-in propulsion upgrade, and that lets you, you know, just from a stop get going soon. You can see I'm setting up the a juke right here. I'm slowing down, letting them see, oh, the destroyer, he stopped. You can see I'm slamming on the gas right now. Now watch all these shots flying in behind me. Yep. Just timing those dodges. So Kerr first goes down. I'm starting to get focused. I know that I'm still really close to this conquer. Gonna go on ahead and use my third smoke. I know there's a DD up on B cap right now. That is where I'm trying to work, but right now I want to make sure that we get this conqueror finished off before he gets a super heal. And you can see just pretty nice consistent AP damage here. Popping hydro because your hydro runs forever. You should never put yourself in a situation where you're going to eat torpedoes if you've got hydro available. It's better to use it and guarantee that you're going to be torpedo safe than take the chance. Gearing shooting, that's letting me know right where he's at, and I could come up here, but I want to make sure that this gearing isn't going to be able to cap this and fall back. I don't really know how much HP the gearing has at the moment, but I'm just going to go right up here, cut the gearing off, and take him out. Gearing versus Druid is very one-sided unless the gearing angles perfectly at you. And even then, you can shoot and bust his guns and do all sorts of nasty stuff. So just coming in here with my hydro. I don't think he really knows how close I am right now. And boom. Now, one thing to note with this AP, it's good enough that if you catch a destroyer by the stern, you can penetrate a lot of the angles on most destroyer stern. If it's a flat stern, you can take advantage of those 90-degree angles. Or if it's a rounded stern like the gearing, all along that arc, you can penetrate the stern. And if you do catch them on the bow, you can, if you remember the Kleber that I was shooting, I was trying to shoot this flared section just to try to catch a little bit more friendly angle to my AP and let my shell slip through into the ship and not just bounce. So at this point, we're into a capping race. My team's kind of done some questionable things with their ships. Thunder is not really tanky. He's up against a Venezia and a Nevsky. And kind of worried about the Thunder. I can't see how much HP he has. Thankfully, the Venezia doesn't have the Thunder's broadside. If these ships were reversed, it would be much worse for our Thunder, and he'd probably be dead. But I'm just going to be the insurance in the game, and gonna do this by making the good old round the merry-go-round, getting all the caps, and gonna step into C, take C, and then start heading in the vicinity of A, with the idea being that if they go to if they kill the Thunderer, they send ships to B and C, I could be in a position where I could back cap A and still keep points ticking, because frankly, I don't really want to fight either a Venezia or a Nevsky, just because both of those ships just kind of dumpster my ship. This ship takes quite a bit of time to do sufficient damage to a Venezia or a Nevsky, and both of them have the capability of erasing a Druid in fairly short order. So our Thunder is doing a good job. He's just kiting north. And I'm just going to cut in between these islands eventually and get into a position where I can back cap. I'm contemplating either going the super safe route down here. That way, if one of these ships turns around and comes back my way, I could be safe. But I see both of them are crossing this line with the island in the way. So I'm taking the gamble to just shove right up here. And by taking this route, that lets me save quite a bit of distance to get in over to ACAP. And that also still leaves me quite a bit of distance that I can run to the south to try to get around if around these ships if one of them turns around and comes back. But at this point, we've managed to keep the 2-cap advantage, and its points are just going to get away from them. Both of those cruisers are pretty fast, but this is a fairly decent sized map. It's going to take them a significant amount of time to get across the map, and at the same time, they're still in a gunfight with my Thunderer. And I'm contemplating going up there and helping out, but I again don't know how much HP is on my Thunderer at this moment, how many fires he has. So I'm just gonna play safe. I see the hit come in on the Venezia, and see him go down. Now once it's 2-on-1, I'm down with this. I'll come in here, and the nasty thing about this, the Thunderer can be shooting AP and forcing the Nevsky to angle, and at the same time I can be throwing AP out at a different angle and take advantage of that. But the game ends on points before we're able to take out the Nevsky, and that will wrap up the first video on the Druid. So what about the ship? I think the ship is pretty interesting when it comes to beating up destroyers. I do like the challenge of just using AP. It's a ship that requires an above average player to utilize. You need to be able to hit particular areas of ships in order to get the most out of this ship, and players that aren't able to do that, they're probably going to be very frustrated with this ship. You always want to be trying to position where you can, catch the broadside of targets, or position yourself kind of like battleships where you know that an enemy is going to have to advance this direction, and you want to be in a position where you can punish that broadside and deny them to be able to move across the map how they want. That's really the strength of this ship. Anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. There'll be more videos with the Druid. I do find this ship really fun to play. I am going to start a slow grind on the Vampire next, but that's going to be a while in the making. But anyway, before I ramble on all night, hope you guys are having a good night. As always, the build that I used will be in the video description below, as will an invite to the community Discord. Hope you guys are having a good night, and I will talk to you later.